An inmendham video. Yay. So anyway, I was jumping through an Anakin, yeah, Annika, whatever her name is, O'Brien, video, live stream, and there was a part where they started talking about me and antinatalism and such. So I thought that was fairly interesting. So I thought I would play this, even though I haven't listened to it yet. Because it's their reaction to the whatever event thing, and so I think let's play it and see how it goes. Should be fun, maybe. Maybe not, but we'll see. Might be brutal and cruel, but we'll see. Hopefully it'll be loud enough.
Talk about.
Maybe I'll make it louder. Yeah. Too loud is probably better than too soft, right? Right, yes, probably. Alright, so I don't know who this guy is. Guitar Man. I don't really know who he is. He sounds kind of, immature. He doesn't really have his brain on right. And, Annika is usually talking to the other boring guy, who's nice, but he's boring, So, I mean, of these characters, she's probably more engaged, like thinking about what she's saying more than they are. But anyway, let's play along.
What you thought about antinatalism?
Now, first, I'm an ethicist, so it's not really about antinatalism. It's a commentary about life itself and the fact that nature is a child molesting serial killer of children. That it kills things in obscene numbers, okay, for no good reason whatsoever. So silly people can do silly dances and say, I'm special, even though they're way overweight and their poo stinks and they're not really special at all. So anyway.
In your experience with that?
She sounds like I gave her antinatalism. So let's understand. Now, if I was to dog races, right, for example, if I was to race dogs, somebody could comment on it and say, hey, you know what, I think that's unethical, to torment these animals for this purpose, to raise them to be obsessed, to program them to do this stupid thing just for you so you can bet on their outcomes and they can get hurt. And why are you doing that? Or horse racing or any other kind of maze I could create and run animals through it. And somebody would say, why are you doing that? Can I understand what your plan is? And so the same thing applies to people creating living humans. It's perfectly appropriate to ask, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, what's really going to happen, right? They're going to love and lose. They're going to get heartbroken. They're going to get the pain of psoriasis. Lots of bad things are going to likely happen. Most people are not incredibly happy. Okay, they tolerate their life, they get through it, and then they feel like they won because they got through it. If you're sludging through a big giant flooding rain full of, the sewage plant is overflowed and there's rivers of cruddy water and dirty stink, and you plow through it to get the mail through or something, you feel good about it. But you wouldn't want to do it again. I mean, shit.
Definition, because I think I know what you're.
It's probably too loud. Okay, I think I know you're going to bring up a subject. Oh my God, maybe the most important subject that can be brought up, which is, do human beings really have the right to play God? To assume they know what's best for another organism, to invest them in it, like they have competence. And like they can clean up the mess. Again, you can't buy insurance against your failure. If they go drug addict, alcoholic, breast cancer, I found, when I was jumping through the video, she had a sister who died. Sister couldn't be that old, right? Her genetics suck. I mean, no offense. But, I mean, she got, brain swelling thingy twice, and she's had her problems, and her sister died. I mean, I had a sister who died. It should tell you something. Okay, yeah, well, maybe most of us live to be 100, But occasionally it all goes really bad, and they get wiped out before they hit the 35.
I'm not an anti-natalist, but I wanted to...
I'm not into antinatalist, yeah, whatever that even means. All right, so you're not into considering the question first, is the world in any condition to even have kids in, just because we can sort of see that we've made a mess of things and there's going to be nothing but slave work in the future, in the sense that the mess has to be cleaned up, right? There's no free energy coming right at us. There's no free anything. So, you know, there looks like if you're going to have a kid now, it doesn't look like they got a bright future. Now, when my parents had me, everything was looking good. Okay, the middle class was getting richer, the rich were getting poorer. Everything looked really kind of good for the average Joe. You know, lots of things. We were landing on the moon. We were doing things. You know, we had built the Hoover Dam. We had, you know, accomplished some shit. And we won a world war and all that kind of crap. We're on the positive side. When I was born, you people don't have any excuse for having kids because you got nothing but pain coming your kids' way.
I think what you thought of your experience with like inmendham and all them.
Inmendham and all them. I mean, you know, like we're some kind of, first that there's a cult of it, and second, you know, I mean, again, you're not even describing me accurately, you know, in the sense that I don't really run around saying I'm an antinatalist, okay, in the sense that I say I'm an ethicist, which is my commentary about the wrongness of life is just the price paid for it, and that is perfectly illustrated in the natural balance. Her fish tank has fish in it who lay hundreds, if not thousands of eggs. And the little babies get eaten. Okay, they hatch, they're alive, just as alive as their parents. They got a little functioning brain and functioning body, and they get brutally murdered within minutes of their creation. That's a problem.
Or like people like that.
So just over the last year on YouTube, especially being in IBS and all.
So it's nice that we have a Wikipedia page, I suppose. You know, we the antiers. You know, but so they put the page up. I'm sure it doesn't reference the ethicist yet, but you know, the people who think people shouldn't have. I don't know what the American flag is doing behind it. That's kind of creepy.
That I think I've thickened up my skin and not blocking my comments. I mean, obviously.
So I don't even understand that. I mean, blocking comments and all this stuff. The stream was on my channel, so I don't think you got comments that you had to worry about. So I don't even know what all that's about.
Rape threats, death threats.
Yeah, I don't think any anti-natalist did any of that. So I don't know why these two subjects are being connected, but that's kind of bogus.
I report people who actually bully.
It's almost like you found it enjoyable to kind of talk to him. You're like, this is kind of like...
It's interesting. Oh, he would say...
That's how I felt when I was watching his content.
Inmendham said I shouldn't have had kids.
Yes, that's right. And I'd say it to anybody who has kids. I'd say it to anybody who's being cruel, okay, unnecessarily cruel to animals. I'd say you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't have bullfights. You shouldn't enter your kids in some silly competition to try to win, all right, by making the other people lose. And that's the game of life. And yes, you've sort of been charmed, okay, you have some good looks and you got a brain. And so maybe you think it's all a fun game, but it's not always a fun game. And people have huge liabilities playing the game. And you just don't care in the sense that you're just saying, I'm worth it, right? Isn't that all you're doing? And so can't I critique that and say, gee, that's so superficial? And then on top of the fact that you're not considering that this is no time to be laying eggs because the world is actual shit and you've just laid the eggs in shit. And also, if I was going to have kids, I want to try to sort of make sure that I genetically gave them the best possible start, and I would just be a little doubtful under your circumstances.
And I
think
laughed.
It's so crazy. It's like, it's so...
Oh, it's so crazy. Again, it's so crazy to be concerned with the welfare of sensitive feeling organisms that might be tortured. That is so crazy. Oh, God. Lame-o fuckhead. Play your guitar. It's, you can't do the thinking thing, obviously.
So out there that it's enjoyable.
Yeah, it's so out there. It's enjoyable to watch. I mean, again, you don't think it's a more important subject than, how shiny are Jigman Jewboy's pants or something, or whatever, some rapper thing. That's so much more important. Style is so much more important than asking any kind of real questions about the meaning and the consequences and the implications of this creation game. Only a dimwit would consider implications and consequences true enough in this world. So you're just demonstrating the idiocracy that owns the world.
Watch.
What mother? Okay, wait, let me finish.
Yeah.
What mother on the planet would you say you should have never had kids because you have epilepsy?
Yeah, that's always a good reason not to, okay? There's anything that you have that your kid might inherit that isn't going to be fun or pleasant, in my opinion, is rude. Yeah, I'm allowed to say that. I'm allowed to say I wouldn't impose it. I was worried when I was a kid. I had my appendix out when I was, 10 years old. And, I thought about it. I said, gee, that means, I got shitty appendix. Should I have a kid? Because, I'm sentencing to bad appendix. I mean, I had fine tonsils, but, bad appendix.
Most mothers would rage out of the stream.
Well, that's their problem, right? I mean, I'm just saying there can't be a more serious subject, right? And it would be okay if it was about cats, or if it was about dogs, or it was about some other animal whose welfare might be compromised. So if I was genetically altering or breeding cats, and I wasn't concerned about their health, I only cared about how they looked, you would call me irresponsible and evil and cruel and stupid. But I'm not allowed to do it when it's humans. Oh, why? Because God says so or something? What's your excuse for ignoring genetic quality when you're an adult human, recognizing it has an impact? It's important. How is that making a logical error? Oh, you're pathetic.
I giggled and was like, holy shit, I can't believe you just said that. It was like, oh.
I could say a lot more. Frankly, if you think your life is above judgment because why? It's sacred. Your decisions are all sacred decisions and nobody can look at them and say, gee, that's cruel, that's stupid. That seems pretty ignorant. Not to pay any attention to the quality of your biological signature in the creation experiment, not paying attention to ingredients when you cook. Do you not pay attention? Do you just put any kind of quality shit into your shit? Any whatever $5 bottle of vodka just as good a drink? Is that your perception of reality? Yeah, that one might be true actually.
Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. Like,
yeah, it was funny.
What?
Well, whatever. Again, it's just it's funny for you to accept that there are some people smart enough to say this is a value decision. Value is at stake. The welfare of sentient beings is going to be involved, and that should be the kind of subject where people should pay attention and voice opinions, because value is at stake. But you think they should only voice opinions when it's about something irrelevant, like what color shoes you wear to a formal computer robot meeting.
Oh, like, and then I wanted to know more about why he thought the way he thought. No woman in her right fucking mind in 2018, if you say you have a neurological disorder, you should not have 4 children.
So in 2018, we should be more ignorant of the connection between genetics and how it functions. So in 2018, we have some special reason to pay less attention to genetic reality. Oh, okay.
And I have children. Like, I have babies. And this,
Yes, and they're just babies so far, I guess, right? So that might be why you still haven't gotten what you've gotten yourself into. So maybe it's going to arrive on you eventually that you've stepped into one hell of a fucking responsibility. I mean, right now it's all great because you still have time for fish tanks and live rooms and all this other bullshit. But eventually you're going to realize that you're basically responsible for everything that's going to program that kid. Every feeling, every emotion, every event. It's all on you, fucker. And when that realization hits you, I wouldn't want to be in the room because you're not going to be a happy person.
man just told me that. You know how many women would like flip out and like.
Yeah, whatever. I don't think so. I'm just saying, yes, people flip out. Okay, guitar guy can't handle the subject. So it's not just about women. It's about humans in general. They can't handle the subject of evolution, for fuck's sake. Most people still believe in angels. Not because it's rational or reasonable or logical. It's because they have a problem. They need it to be true. The people pointing out there's no angels aren't the ones who are bad, evil people trying to ruin their fun. Okay? That's not how it works. So the fact that most people can't react to this subject rationally is evidence of nothing to point a finger and say it must be an illegitimate subject because people can't handle it. That's like saying evolution is an illegitimate subject because most people on Earth can't handle it. So do logical, be consistent with your logic. Mechanically order it correctly and understand that this is a completely fallacious argument from populum, okay, that can't possibly make sense because it's so overtly clear that their reaction is irrational, not rational.
Like have articles written about that guy and try to get him off the internet.
Right, and that would be an irrational response. Just as the religious people try to demonize and they burned witches at a stake because they were so fanatically afraid of any kind of other belief system. So again, that doesn't demonstrate how the witches were wrong.
No, what I'm saying is, I like the number of women that I know of on like YouTube that would flip out and like try to get banned.
Yeah, well, whatever. I've said it to women's faces. Sometimes even before they have kids, I call them an asshole if you have a kid. I told it to my own sister, for fuck's sake. I mean, so it's they don't flip out. They just don't pay attention. Sometimes women get distracted. Something, sequins or something shiny pops into their peripheral view, and then all of a sudden they forget they're supposed to be intelligent.
And for saying that, because that's considered hate speech.
I'm sorry. I don't really understand how it could possibly be hate speech for me to walk up to somebody, let's say, not even walk up. I just make a video on YouTube saying eating meat is evil and wrong, and you shouldn't do it because you're being cruel. That's not hate speech, retard. Sorry, no offense. I mean, calling you a retard isn't hate speech either. I mean, please, grow up.
Giggled and said, "Why do you feel that way?" You know why I'm to that point? Because I don't block my effing commenters.
Well, again, this has nothing to do with your commenters. The video was on my channel. The live stream was on my channel. So, again, I don't really understand what this has to do with it.
Because I've gotten to a point where there's really only a couple of things, like actual threats, or if somebody comes to you and says, "I hope that you get murdered," or "I hope you get..."
Yeah, that's perfectly with their right. That's right. Look, I don't know what this argument is. I mean, people are allowed to hate and despise what you represent or what you stand for or some other thing. They're allowed to do that. Now, I don't necessarily do that. I'm just pointing out how I don't see how you can logically defend the selfishness of having kids. There's no rational reason to have them. There's no logical, the world needs my kids to be a slave to cleaning up global warming, for example. Now, if you actually think, if that was actually your plan, I'm going to have children so they can be a slave to fixing the mess we've made of the world. It would still be immoral, in my opinion, or ethically unacceptable, because it's a servitude. Why should you be imposing a servitude? For what purpose? To save mankind? Save it for what? It's never going to do anything, this mankind, this humankind. Humankind is never going to do anything. Okay? It's going to make movies and things to wank to, but it's never going to do anything. Fuck.
Yeah, things like that's different. He didn't say, I hope you die.
Well, sometimes I do actually hope people who are maliciously, aggressively stupid die, because they are just a menace. I think, in a sense, reckless procreators, you know, I hope they get what they're imposing, which is unpleasantness. They're imposing potential unpleasantness without regard to their failure. They're going to make maybe a bad machine, a Frankenstein. That's what you're playing. You're playing Dr. Frankenstein. It's that you're saying, I'm Annika Frankenstein. And you're thinking all positive, like Dr. Frankenstein. You're thinking, I'm not thinking about my failure, the potential of failure. I'm not thinking about what happens if I make a monster. I'm just thinking about how good it's going to be when I make this perfect human. And you're the one with the unrealistic notions. You haven't looked at the average human. You haven't watched all the metaphorical examples of what humans are. Rugrats and The Simpsons and South Park. You haven't seen enough metaphors to realize humans are shit. The average human is a shithead. You're going to make shit on purpose. And somebody should be able to say, you know what, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's rational or sensible. I think that's just stupid, ignorant. That's something dumb people do.
But he was taking his political
views. He was actually like, dude, he was...
Dude. This guy is calling other people dude. Look, boy, guitar boy, okay? You know, whatever. Your brain needs more sun, okay? It's too wet. You know, it's got the mold on it. Stupid cunt.
Nicer to anybody I've ever seen him be nice to.
He was...
And 10 things I've ever seen to be nice to. So again, just more bullshit that you somehow have some record of inmendham's interactions with people. I've had plenty of interviews with people who aren't hostile to me, and I'm not hostile to them. Simple rules, no problem. So this whole bullshit that inmendham is always obnoxious, always negative, always hostile, bullshit. If somebody talks to some sense, I'm not going to argue with them. I don't fight for the function of fighting. I fight stupid. And you're stupid, guitar boy.
Away with pants again.
If there ever was a most bitter person on the fucking planet.
Again, just more grotesque. Where's my bitterness? I'm a vain, self-obsessed in many ways. I don't need this whole petty for what? I'm very grateful I'm not you. How is that pettiness? I'm happy being me. I don't want to be any of you. Not a single one of you measures up. I wouldn't exchange my body or my mind with any one of you. Not a single solitary one. What do you mean petty? Petty how? I've been incredibly lucky, and I'm just sensible enough to know how lucky I am not to have ALS, not to be Stephen Hawking, not to have all the... To be born in Bangladesh. I'm fucking grateful as fuck! And you're calling that petty. I'm just smart enough to realize that you people don't seem to understand how these things are connected. That to support the dog race, you have to support the dogs that essentially get killed by it. To defend one part, right? To defend the horse race, I have to defend the horse that gets tripped and breaks its leg and has to be shot on the track. To have one thing, you have to have the other thing. You don't want to recognize there's payment for everything, fucknut. Because you're a stupid guitar boy.
You made him happy. I could not believe it.
Other people have reached out to me and asked me to go back on the stream.
Thunderfoot?
they've reached out to me and asked her to go back on the screen. But yeah, well, whatever. I mean, I think it's a worthwhile conversation. As I pointed out, the only way we fix the world is all these divergent opinions have to find some way to at least appreciate that you're not malicious, ignorant cunts. You know, I mean, if we're viewing each other as maliciously stupid, you know, that's almost like being a Nazi. Almost. Okay? And so, yes, there's lines are going to get drawn, and it won't be pretty in the future. So the future needs us to have the conversation and find some way. I don't think there's a way to compromise, frankly, but some way to really verify that you're belligerently ignorant. Okay, you're belligerently stupid. It's not like it's an accident you're dumb, but that you're actually just ignoring the truth.
He had a debate with Thunderfoot.
Yeah.
He had a debate with Thunderfoot, and
I don't remember that. When did I have a debate with Thunderfoot? Oh yes, in the non-Thunderfoot room, right? And I didn't debate Thunderfoot. I debated 4 people who were making an argument. And Thunderfoot's brilliant argument was anti-natalists don't breed, therefore the philosophy will die out. As if somehow us anti-natalists were self-producers or something. Somehow we weren't birthed to natalists. Yeah, we were. Oh. So he thinks philosophy is genetic. So this idiot guitar boy thinks if he has a kid, he'll be guitar boy too. He thinks it works that way. And everything he believes, his kid will believe. He's that fucking stupid.
flipped out. Like, he started screaming on stream. It was nice to you. He started talking about his personal life.
Again, the context is entirely different, isn't it? I went in to that argument, okay, for the argument. We're arguing a specific subject. I didn't go into the argument with Annika with the purpose of they already know what the subject is and they already have arguments to make. So it's not exactly the same circumstance.
He started showing you his artwork.
I know.
I didn't do that. So again, more bullshit, right? If somebody asks, okay, I answer. So again, I didn't request to have a conversation about my artwork. I didn't bring up the subject as, let's talk about art. Did I do that? No, I didn't do that. So more crap.
I saw a side of him. I was reading the chat, and people were like, holy shit, I've never seen this side of it. People that have been following him for over 10 years saw a different...
Yeah, no, they haven't been following me, obviously, because there's a ton of videos. Every single person I've ever had a conversation with, one-on-one, will you show me the one-on-one conversation I had with anybody, all right, that was fundamentally hostile from the beginning to the end? Show it to me. Okay, outside of holiday, where is it?
I've been following this about.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I have that effect.
I give people their opportunity. As I've pointed out many times, I don't bring the shit first. The people I make response videos to are making videos where they are insulting me or my philosophy, and I fight back. They're not the ones being gracious or generous or waiting for the insults. They're the ones making the insults. You people just can't do fair cop at all, can you? I mean, just hypocrisy and bullshit. It's just, you know, propagandized, pigeonhole bullshit. So get what you deserve. Yeah, get cliched into being something. Trumpies.
On some people. But then you know, you compare.
I don't know what it was. He liked you, though. It was interesting.
So he gave me one of the best compliments. One of the most, I wouldn't even...
Yes, that's right. Yes, and it wasn't intended as a compliment. That's the whole fucking point.
Say best compliments, that's the wrong term. He gave me one of the greatest, most accurate descriptions I don't remember if he said it publicly. He might have said it at the beginning of the stream, or he might have said it before we went live. But he just
I said it both. Yes. I said it before and I said it in.
Described me as being not like being feminine to the point where you can tell I'm like a woman, like I'm, you know, a mom, and I like do like that, but that I'm also, or I think he started out off with saying that like I'm into masculine things, but I'm not.
I didn't say that at all. I never used it. The word masculine seems kind of gay to me, so I don't even use that term, but whatever.
And I'm kind of a tomboy, but I'm not like overly macho manly. And that I don't do it for the manliness factor of it. Like a lot of chicks are like, ooh, I'm a badass. Like I'm sitting here with a screw.
It's not exactly what I said. I said it much more eloquently. I was just making the point that you're not pretensing. You're not sitting here trying to role play as a girl doing thinking. You're just doing a person doing thinking. You're not trying to cleavage or something else.
Driver my hand for my entire life stream. I'm tough, but my weapon. But yeah. No, but he yeah, no, that was like, I was like, holy shit. Like he gets me. And that like set the mood for the whole live stream.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you started criticizing him about his hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy hair. I wasn't being mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's old news. The hair's old. The only thing different about my hair now is it's just shorter. When it gets longer, then it'll be heavy enough that it won't be as big out. But it's always been the same hair. You go back to my videos 10 years ago. The hair wasn't, it was just longer. Shit.
He said that he washed it with chemicals.
Did he say he had lupus or something? Or
no, you don't remember? Oh my.
No, I said I had, I mean, they can't even get this right. Lupus. I had Lyme disease. It's caused by a parasite. She says in here earlier that she's a scientific sort of background. She can't get the difference. I had a preventable infectious disease 10 times. 10 times. I got that infection. So I was trying everything I could to prevent tick nymphs from biting me. And they're really tiny. So go look up a Lyme tick and go look up the nymphs and you'll see they're smaller than a period on a piece of paper. They're tiny. And so I was assuming that maybe my hair is catching some or someplace I'm somewhere getting these ticks. Now I didn't realize that my couch was actually infested. Yeah. But anyway, the point is you have to do something a little bit physically extreme to kill them. So I started taking very hot baths with chlorine. A little bit. Just to kill them. How is that irrational? But the point is the chlorine was not good for my hair. So my hair broke and that's why it got short. And also I'm 58, so I don't know. I started taking a little more vitamins, so maybe it was just a vitamin deficiency. You get older, you have to start taking vitamins and shit because your body doesn't make shit anymore. Fuck, you people are just insane. How is this an appropriate subject, my fucking hair? Something I pay absolutely no attention to. Ever.
Yeah, no, I remember. Like chlorine. He said he poured chlorine in his hair.
I don't pour chlorine in my hair. So again, it's just, I mean, I don't know how people can, a conversation takes place and how they could interpret the conversation to come out that way. That I would pour chlorine, actual chlorine on my head. I mean, God. Well, anyway.
4 years and I never knew why his hair was like that.
Right, and so, right, for 10 years ago, go back 10 years ago, and my hair was the way it was. I wasn't bathing in hot water or chlorine then. So again, it has nothing, what are you talking about? You wouldn't like my hair 10 years ago. It was the same hair, just longer. So People are impossibly silly.
Hell, that stream. And you asked him, and he opened up to you. I was like, what?
He opened up to you. I explained. I didn't open up to anybody. I just explained why. Look, my hair is a little bit frizzy. Yeah, this is why. I explained it. That's all I did. Amazing.
I'll go back on his stream again.
He told you that he washed his hair with chemical.
Yeah, he fucked up and ruined his hair.
Again, I don't even know the exact cause. Like I said, started happening 2 years ago. Now, it could have been because I was swimming in pools a lot back then too. But the point is my age combined with environmental circumstances meant that my hair wasn't quite the same. Is that is that really too complicated?
And it was nice to see him let down his guard with me, because I haven't been.
No.
I don't know. I don't even know how I did that. But whatever. Go ahead. Fine. It's just where does that? I don't even know where that comes into the conversation. I'm sorry. I just don't get the guard letting down part. But anyway, let's go ahead. Continue with misparaphrasing my existence.
I love him, though. He's like a brilliant. He's one of the most brilliant people I've ever seen, and he's.
And you sit here and spend all this time mocking and insulting the most brilliant person you've ever seen. Does that make any sense to you? Does that really? Oh, amazing.
Poor and just a nobody. Like, I'm a nobody too, but like
he's somebody to us.
He's brilliant, and he's just a nobody, and he chooses to be a nobody. And I love him. He's awesome.
Of course, I choose not to be a what? What am I supposed? What is my alternatives? I would choose to be to clean up all the messes I see, and then be done with that, and go, wank and take naps all day. I'm just saying I don't really have a choice. To say I choose to be something, I'm obviously not choosing, because there's no me to do the choosing. So there's programs running that have always been uncomfortable and afraid and disturbed by this insane tightrope bullshit. That's an uphill tightrope, okay? It's a tightrope going uphill, and it's got grease on it. And I'm supposed to play this stupid game of be somebody and watch the other people fall off the tightrope. The ones who are just like you, except their name is Carrie or Barry or some other thing, and their hair is dark instead of blonde, or their eyes are brown instead of blue. Little trivial differences, and I feel good because they fell off so I can stay on. And I was always disturbed when I realized that's the game I'm playing, that there's no way to win this in any kind of real way. There's no real victory lane. There's just the big huge loser lane. And you have to go past loser lane to get your winning prize. You have to go look at all the people you ruined to have your fun day. The whole thing sucks. So what was the point? Yes. So, yeah, that's all I'm worried about, is the fact that I through every sense and through every pore, I sense the suck, the stench of this fucking shitty version of reality. I should post a link to this other chick. Sorry. I don't need to do that. It's just somehow my brain likes women being chicks or girls. And it's not the right thing to do. But anyway, from the draft science thing, but I mean, she just does. Somebody linked to her anyway, and she's interesting. So, another mechanical kind of chick, another chick who can think, and interesting. So yeah, maybe we'll do that after I finish this. But yeah, I should do I should do Annika again. Yes, we'll have to do that.
if he wasn't so kind to me, I probably would have a completely different. That's what. So every time people tell me like, oh my god, that guy's such a.
Well, that's a little bizarre, just because I don't know if I was all that kind. As you're pointing out, I mean, I was a little bit brutal in the sense that I'm pointing out your little bit of flaws here and there, and you're, da 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 da. So I was a little bit mean in the sense that I was being a little bit honest,
Yes,
Yeah,
Spencer.
he's a bitter
You donate
motherfucker.
$2, we can discuss whatever you want. It's weird because from the first time, like he had just observed me communicating with other people, and he was so nice to me. And he knew me back when I was poor, like when he and I would chit chat. Like I was broke as shit, and I was living in my shitty apartment in LA, like waiting tables while I was trying to start my own business, and yeah, I was broke as shit. He knew me before I had epilepsy. Like, I didn't get epilepsy till like 2010. So, it's kind of weird. I was like a kid practically, and it was cool because we would have really long philosophical discussions, like in groups of us would.
2010 would have been like what, 21?
I was young.
Yeah, well, whatever. Good old Stickham, yes. So, yeah. Anyway, the good old days. Sadly, we have to do the new, bad kind of days.
Yeah.
I was young. But he was like, it's funny because I would watch him rage off on people.
Yeah.
And I remember
like
thinking,
Thunderfoot. You remember that shit?
I remember Thunderfoot would come in like in that same area. TJ, like all those people were on Stickham.
TJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I only talked to TJ once. And, it was an okay conversation. See, that's a good example. TJ knows I called him the amazing waste he is. TJ kind of knows what my criticism was. And in a sense, it's a one-dimensional criticism. Because TJ's basically smart. He's just missed the most important fact in the universe. So it's like he has a lot of facts in the right order. But when you miss the most important one, that value's important, that the net product of your life is more than how you feel about it. What's in it for you is missing the real story of what it is to exist. So he's missing one fact that's just critically important. You can't do any really good logic, any meaningful logic, if you get the value question wrong. If you don't understand how value works, and that you have an effect on the world, and that's part of your responsibility to account for your life. So that's just the obligation. Your life is, if you killed any people drink driving or something. Those are real things. Those are real circumstances of your existence, and you have to account for them. And he doesn't get that. And it's missing a really important fact. But anyway, but I got along with him. We joked about some guy from whatever, Czechoslovakia or something. It was, it was an okay little 10 minutes.
Billy the Fridge. So do you know Billy the Fridge? Billy the Fridge is now surfacing on like the Drunken Peasants. Billy and I used to chit chat on Stickham, and Billy and I were like, I really like him a lot. He's cool.
I remember you mentioning this.
Yeah.
He's no doubt very fat, though, right? So if he's on the Drunken Peasants, he's no doubt fat. I guess that's why he called a refrigerator, right? Yes, because he's fat.
To chit chat.
I
think last year I mentioned Billy the Fridge on my podcast, and now he's freaking famous on. It's all because of me. I mentioned his name.
He's like
he's a good guy.
Part of like Community or whatever.
Yeah, we all kind of hung out on Stickham before we were YouTube famous. It was around like YouTube was just getting started. Lacey Green was really popular back then. She was really popular for her. She wasn't in. It seems like she went in Stickham, but I didn't interact with her. Like she might have been in other. If she did go in Stickham, she didn't go in the same rooms as me. But people would discuss her content.
Oh,
yeah, I don't really remember Lacey Green being on Stickham that much. There was just the debate atheist room, and they. Yeah, well, she couldn't really do. I just mean just because her whole game was really doing the, from your eyes to your cleavage thing. It doesn't really work on Stickham very well.
Shit that Sargons gave her, I want to still say she's kind of a sweetheart.
Oh,
I don't agree with that.
In a way.
She's very disingenuous.
she's like a fucking extraterrestrial. I mean, she scares the fuck out of me. She's just not. The personality is whatever. It's just too flamboyant. There's too. Everything's too. It's just, it scares me. It's like, you think it's a contraption. It's a trap. And you get too close to it, it will, bite your head off.
I feel she's very disingenuous. That's my
Annika's
opinion.
clearly
So,
not
I
a
really
fan
like
of her.
I'm a big fan of her
Maybe it's true.
boyfriend.
Yes, big, disingenuous, bad robot. Her boyfriend, oh, it just scares the hell out of me. I wonder who that is. Ooh.
Haven't seen past stuff. The only stuff I've seen is when the first video I ever seen by Lacey Green was like,
Scene.
I am going up. It was something about like, I was part of the left and now I'm going right.
Oh yeah, you didn't see her hit. Oh yeah.
It was like in 2016 or something.
Yeah, no, I'm talking like old Lacey Green.
I don't know.
Like
Yeah, and then she was first green, right? It was about this stupid green stuff, and then it was, green planet and love nature and blah, 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 and then it became some sort of sex thing because she got some kind of half-assed degree in something and whatever. But, yeah, I don't know. Frankly, I can't watch it, so I don't even know. I can't do it. It's too cartoon. It's a cartoon of a person. I can't watch cartoons of people. I mean, if she was doing a rabbit, if it was a rabbit cartoon, I could watch it, maybe, or a duck or something. But I just can't watch people in cartoon form, unless it's like South Park or something. It has to be all the way a cartoon, like a half cartoon. Not good enough.
very opinionated and very like
Silly.
has this,
Silly.
I'm a Nazi.
yeah.
Oh God. Please.
Anyway, somebody just said Stickham was famous for wankers and cam whores. Yes, but there were a lot of we had philosophy groups and we had a lot of very private groups that were not. You would actually get.
Yeah, frankly, the inmendham room was, pretty good.
Fan naked on there. Like I know people would. People would say, "Oh, people just go in there. Oh, Spencer, I just got $2 from Spencer. Oh crap! Now we have to discuss it. Shit.
What's your expensive?
No, Spencer W. Just
I was like, oh my God, really?
no. If I donate,
I
no.
need to go off on his ass.
If I donate $2, can we discuss breeding the Aaron Ubermensch? Discuss it. All group.
Yeah, well, that's what you're all trying to do. You're just imagining the best result. You're not imagining the worst result. So you're just pretending everything's going to be okay, even though there's good reason, in your own case, you're watching your sister die, to realize this might not be any fun at all. Maybe you're one of your child's, okay, to use Guitar Man's vernacular, maybe one of your childs won't like watching the other child die. And it's on you. You said that's going to be fun. Fun enough. The jelly beans, the big jar of jelly beans you win at the end, is going to be worth it. Oh, that's right, after you die of cancer and stuff. Then you get the big jar of jelly beans. Yeah.
Should feel comfortable to breed, and whether they want to continue on their culture or their race, they shouldn't feel, Wakanda forever, Wakanda for everyone. That's it.
Yeah.
Wakanda for everyone.
What is that? I don't even know what that means. So whatever, Wakanda. It's like Coke. Coke makes everything okay. Coca-Cola, it fixes all the problems in the world. It's like a Hoover Dam times a million. And you believe that shit?
That's my opinion on the Ubermensch. Everyone should feel comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah, whatever that even means. Right, so even the pedophile who has all these horrible desires about raping immature buttholes, he should feel fine about that. Oh, I'm special and cool because I have a wonderful impulse to go fuck little baby anuses. No, they should be like, oh shit, why am I here? I'm not designed properly to function in this environment. The baby anuses are in the wrong place. They need to be on old men instead, because then it would be okay to rape the old men. Or something like that.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna get banned. Not by me. YouTube's at least. Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe.
The chat is not live here, so I can't read it. So I don't know what they're doing. She does pay way
Yeah,
close
so
attention.
Eliona just commented and pointed out, Lacey recently shrugged off her sex ed videos being shown to students without parental consent because kids need to learn safe sex. Her commie values seem to blind her consent.
What shrugged off mean? She deleted them?
No, meaning, no. Shrugged off, like, they were like, oh, do you realize your sex ed videos are being shown to young children that are too young for sex? And she's like, oh, little kids need to know.
Right, this whole thing about what kind of, again, so another example. You have kids in the world today, and they're going to be exposed to all kinds of weirdo sex shit before they even have any solid notions about their orientation. They're going to just reinforce doubts and confusion, and you're just going to create a bunch of people who think they're raccoons and they want to rape rabbits. I mean, they're not even going to stay within their own species. It's just a disaster waiting to, end up with a bunch of raccoons.
Really mean fucking shit. You delete them or you don't.
No, shrugged off means like she didn't say, hey, you know what, maybe my content isn't suitable for young children.
I don't think it's suitable for old children. I don't think it's suitable for anybody just because it's so creepy. I mean, creepy in the sense of that it's just such a cliche. It's like bad porn with those, the dog yapping in the background. Or something. I mean, she's bad porn. It's not going to do your sex life any good. It's going to fuck you up. Lacey Green is not going to make you. It's not going to orient you appropriately.
She also thinks that young children getting into drag, which is can be an extremely sexual and drug-riddled, culture. Because she talks to like
that's like pre-pedophile shit, man. Funny. Fucking weird.
And someone said this is why women shouldn't vote.
How is that not? Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't agree with her views on young children and sex.
Yes, but you can't fix it. So again, whether you agree or disagree with her, guess what? Those people are now controlling the universe. So they are, unless you freaking build some sort of moat around your Texas mansion, your kids are fucked in the head. They will be fucked in the head.
It doesn't seem to. I am assuming she's never going to have children.
Bravo. That's a good move.
She seems to think that sex should be available to children of all ages. It's fun for the whole family.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's what she thinks. But okay, whatever. I don't really think that's what she thinks. I think I mean, I hate Lucy Green, but that's just got to be or Lacey, whatever the fuck her name is. She seemed Lucille Ballish. Yeah, that's, I'm associating her with any cliche of a bad description of a woman, and like Lucille Ball was kind of a mockery of a woman. Let's be really stupid and silly, We're grown up enough to wear pants, but we're too stupid to figure out you can't wallpaper Ethel to the wall.
And she also seems quite ignorant in that, like you can expose children to things like that and like it's not going to affect them.
Yes, you're going to be affected by every single reference. Every single reference is going to fuck with you. Every single one that has any. It's Beavis and Butthead. That is it's a metaphor for a reality. That's Generation X or whatever. They just keep going. Yeah. Except they're fat. Okay, Beavis and Butthead wasn't fat, which was stupid. They should have made them very fat, eating bacon burgers and watching the drunken peasants.
And I just don't agree with her on those. That's where I draw the line with her most. Like, that's where I see that her values are actually damaging to Western civilization.
Yeah, well, I think that's not the only subject she's full of shit on, but whatever. Okay. Yeah, I don't think she's a philosopher. She's boobs, eyes. Philosophers don't do that.
Yeah.
So.
Trying to find the article that I first saw that story in. It was from the Daily Wire.
Ah, so this is the guy with the good radio voice, but importantly, he's got the boring radio personality to go with it. He could sell potato chips, I'm sure, so it'd be very good for potato chip commercials and such. You need a potato chip now. There's only one potato chip that's twice as potato chippy. That's double chippies.
Yeah.
But no, I know what you're talking about. It was quite explicit, as I understand it, and yeah, it's. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Now, did she show her nipples? Quite explicit.
Isn't Daily Wire? Isn't that Ben
Somebody,
Shapiro?
okay, real quick, she just tagged me again. It was in schools, possibly 12, 13-year-old, but the point was she didn't care about parental rights because the views she has are more important.
Yeah, whatever. But yes, the fact that somebody teaching sex ed would think, oh, let's go watch a Lucy Green video. Teachers are frighteningly stupid.
Very
I mean, people who can't teach, that kind of thing. Frighteningly stupid.
Bolshevik. That as well. I mean, what Eliona, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, just said. Yeah.
I can't find it quickly. All right.
I wonder if this is.
I'm getting
framed.
really tired.
I think.
Yeah, she always gets. She gets very tired.
It is. That's
Yeah.
That's Ben Shapiro's outfit.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, Daily Wire. He is one of those people that if you listen to his podcast or something, it always feels like you always have to check your. No, I'm constantly checking my phone to make sure that it's not on like double speed. I'm like, wait, is this like?
I personally don't like Ben Shapiro. I think he's a fucking neocon.
Okay, he is. He is a neocon.
I think he's a fucking warmonger.
You don't think
He's always every time if Trump does, I'm a pro-Trump.
I don't have to like.
He's a pro-Trump guitar boy. He thinks I'm brilliant, and he's pro-Trump. I mean, these are dualities. That's like the wave particle problem. You probably can't do both of those things. There's something wrong with your brain if you're doing both of those things.
People to listen to
Trump
their
does
podcasts.
something wrong, if
Trump has never done anything right. He's never done a right thing in his life, and I mean right in every sense of the word. Right, correct, appropriate. Ever. He farts sideways. The guy can't do anything straight.
if Trump does something wrong, he like bombs Syria.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro comes out, he's like,
Oh.
"Hey guys, I just wanted to say."
Okay, enough of this. So anyway, it's almost over anyway, and they're probably not going to say anything else that matters. So if anybody saw the very end and it was something critically important, let me know. But I doubt that there ever was. So anyway, let's go jumping to this other little Swedish chick.
Sometimes, all I want to do is to sit here, eat sandwiches, and you
Okay, she does better than that. She actually talks.
what if my life would be better if I was at another place, in another galaxy far, far away? It's crazy, but because we...
Yeah, so she's, calls herself Nerdphilia. And she does this, whatever, Star Trek-y thing. Star Wars. And it's all very cute and such. And, But yeah, she's just posing the question. She has dreams of life being a little bit more than this. This seems a little grunty and grindy, and life should be crystal cities and sparkly, clean, nice massages, jacuzzis, saunas. I just go from the sauna to the jacuzzi, something else, nap, jacuzzi, sauna, that kind of thing. Life should have a better sequence than this. I have to go to the bathroom. Yeah, it's just not good enough. It's too broken, too dirty, too smelly. Not very perfect. Not even close to perfect. So anyway, she was sort of posing that, but she's doing it in, of course, a glib kind of, never mind, it's not really important kind of way. She's not going to get all depressed over it. She's not going to lose her boner, so to speak. But anyway, but perfectly pleasant. So I'll leave a link below to Nerdphilia. Someday she seems to me that she will be much more popular. She's one of those people that's just kind of nice and fun and pleasant. And I'm sure she'll be rewarded for being fun and pleasant. She wants to hug people. So you get rewarded for that kind of stuff. Anyway, yeah, so that's enough, right? I don't think there's any brilliant comments in here. You are happy because I am here. I'm your happiness. See, it's all kind of happy with my life? Hell no. Well, she wasn't really asking for your opinion, but yes. Life is, I mean, most of us aren't. She's quite well engineered, and pretty little blue eyes and hair and nice and shape and all that kind of stuff, and still kind of young, 28. So from her position, on the chessboard, not too bad. Some of us have, fallen off our little horse, and we're not even a pawn anymore. We're just a knight walking, just walking. And, life's kind of a drudge. A horrible drudge. With little fun bits in between with naps. So there are some little fun bits and naps, but mostly drudge. Alright, so we've completed our, whatever our mission here. Mission 4,698. Well, it's more like mission 6,747, but anyway. I have completed another mission. Yeah, really is, who knew? I never knew. When I started doing this, 6,000 videos later, no way would I have said, I'll be doing this forever. Or until I'm dead, right? Well, I'll be doing it till I'm dead. Well, until I'm diagnosed with almost dead. I actually have a skin cancer. I have to get, can't find a doctor, though. So I'll have to do it myself, I guess, or something. Pain in the ass kind of bullshit. I mean, I'm certainly not afraid to do it myself. I just don't want to do it, like, not quite enough. I mean, I have a tendency to and I don't want to, there's veins and stuff. I don't want to, don't want to make too much of a mess. But anyway, we'll see. I'll try a little harder for a couple more weeks, and then I'll decide to do a DIY skin cancer removal. But anyway, so till it's kind of a stupid location. Why would the fuck it would be here? Look, it's there. Why? What's there? There's no sun there. That's like the most I mean, my ass gets more sun than here, actually. Mostly in the summer, anyway. It doesn't make any sense. Stupid place. Anyway, I mean, it should be on my nose or something. This is not a skin. This is just a blemish of the ordinary blemish sort. Anyway, I've gone on much longer than I should. She should have longer hair. She has great hair. I mean, it really should be a little longer. It's just like complaining about a delicious apple or something. Probably not a good example because they aren't really delicious apples. They're pretty apples, but they're not really delicious. There's so much wrong with the world. Delicious apples really should be delicious. They shouldn't be like, eh. Anyway, where was I? Oh, that's right. I was completing the ending of the video, where I hit the stop recording now and hope the whole thing doesn't fail and I didn't waste like fucking 2 hours. Alright, so only an hour, right? Something like that. Okay. About average. So, till next time, such. Mostly.